When the gods come to you, let me tell you a little story that happened to me starting around midnight last night, approximately, and up until now. I was talking to a friend last night about some stuff I've been through and just grieving that and working through it and processing it, and it was wonderful. And very grateful to this person for holding space for me like that. And it's literally as soon as we were done with that conversation, I go to walk outside and there was a shirt on my floor and I stepped on it and I heard this buzzing. And I'm like, what the hell? And I moved the shirt and there's a cicada. There's a little cicada on my bedroom floor. I'm like, how the hell did you get in here? He was also very fresh, like very light in color, wings very tight to his body, and very, very golden. I don't think I have ever seen such a golden cicada in my life. Um, I was just mystified. I'm like, how the hell does a fresh cicada wind up in my bedroom? When the divine comes to you. Anyway, so we went outside and we sat under the tree here, and he got on the tree roots. And I'm talking to him and, singing little cicada songs to him. And because his wings had a little problem. Like they're at the tips of his wings were kind of crumpled and looked almost broken. And I was worried. They need to fly. And I was worried that he might never fly. But I just kind of sat out here with him and I'm talking to him. He crawls off the cardboard and he looks at me. And I look at him and he looks at me and I look at him. And he's got the cutest little derpy face and those big old black eyes, but he's looking at me and all I can feel is just love and wonder, and just fell in love with this tiny little golden cicada who ended up in my bedroom. But I was still very concerned about his wings because, of course, they don't have a long lifespan. And I'm like, buddy, I want you to, still have a fulfilling life and whatnot. So I'm sitting out here and singing him silly songs like I do to my ancestors and nature and other things because that's what I am, silly. But they were songs of encouragement and, and love. And I told him, even if you never fly, you are still a precious child of Earth and very loved. And I, for one, am so grateful that we were able to meet. And we just sat under this tree for like an hour while I talked to him and sang him songs. And he hung on my finger. He just sat on my finger and listened and looked at me. And it was the most darling thing. And I did look up the spiritual associations with cicada, and I found out that, this is especially cicadas are symbolic of transformation and spiritual awakening. They're also symbolic of divine timing, which is, for me, divine timing are bad words. But, I'm leaning into accepting that a lot more and really just moving with spirit in this hollow bone stuff that I do. But I also learned that cicadas are sacred to Apollo, who I have not worked with among Hellenistic gods, but lo and behold, there he was. And I woke up this morning feeling a little anxious and sad and remembered that cicada. And there goes my inner pendulum saying that this is Apollo still here. He came to me this morning and we talked, about what I was grieving last night and everything else and the golden cicada and what that meant. And I'm not going to share all of that right now because it's very personal and very deep. But here's the fun part. I'm thinking about can I give you an offering or something just in thanks, and I had pulled my ice cream out of my freezer and made myself a bowl because it's ice cream. Anyway, I'm like, God's like food, but it's kind of stupid to put a bowl of ice cream on the altar when it's just going to turn into mush. And you're a sun god anyway. So, hey, how about this? You merge with my energy as, in hollow bone. and then you can enjoy some ice cream. And that's what we did. And I so when I merge with divine energies, or higher vibrational entities, stuff like that, it's sort of like the experience is like I'm off to the side, and they're there giving their messages. I'm not gone. I'm not like taken over. I'm just kind of, a little out of the way. And I ate the ice cream, or he ate the ice cream, and just utterly loved it. It was Snickers ice cream, by the way, with lots of caramel. He was like, what a unique and wonderful offering to a sun god, to be able to taste and savor and enjoy this ice cream." And then I got about, about 3/4 of the way through it, and he said, "Okay, the rest is yours." And I'm like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" He's like, "No, yep, you can have that." And it was then I started eating it myself, and it's just the contrast was amazing. So, like, I'm eating it, and my whole body is tingling, and I literally tears started pouring out of my eyes, not because I was sad, but because when I am, in the hollow bone and merged with divine energy, that's one of the signs that is joy, and it's it's a very strong connection is what it symbolizes. And so when there's tears pouring out of my eyes, it's he was very grateful. And so also said, if you ever want to, work with me or ask for my help, I'm good with ice cream. And that, my friends, is what it's like working with gods and goddesses in the divine as the hollow bone. Have a wonderful day. And if you happen to be in the Midwest, watch your air quality. Those Canadian wildfires are crazy. Love you. Bye.